Welcome back to Solomon's Porch with your host, Jason.
And Sean.
And we are back with another round 5 segment here. We're going to be talking about our top 5 detective shows. So if you're not a fan of detective shows, this might not be the round 5 for you. I do apologize.
I don't.
Okay, I don't
You
apologize
should totally be
either.
into it. Detective, crime. Yeah, no, absolutely.
So I was kind of gathering my list. You know, there are some things where it's like, does this qualify? Does this qualify? Does this qualify? So
Yeah.
these are from the detective's perspective type of a show. All right.
Yeah, detective, police, whatever, law enforcement kind of thing. So like no Sopranos.
No Sopranos.
Yeah.
No Prison Break.
Definitely crime, but that's definitely from the other side of things.
Right.
So we'll save that for another round 5.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So go ahead and start us off, Sean.
Oh man, this was hard for me. I'll be honest with you, because I watched so much that just trying to remember everything, in a sort of on the spot, hey, let's do this. Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, it was a challenge because also there's so much that I love. So trying to prioritize these, and I'd have more like a round 10 at least. But so I have some honorable mentions as well. But
I was thinking this would be a good one for you.
Yeah.
Even whenever you did like top 5 shows,
Mm-hmm.
I think 3 of them were detective shows easily,
Yeah.
if not more.
Yeah. So. Yeah, probably so. Yeah. I probably consume more crime TV shows than anything else. Sci-fi with sort of a close second. And if it's a criminal sci-fi, you're probably gonna make my list.
Is there any like that?
In fact, I've got one on my list.
Okay, all right. Well, go ahead and start your list, sir.
It's technically. Wait a minute. Oh no, yeah, it's on my honorable mentions. I was like, wait a second, okay. I lost it. Okay. Anyway, number 5. Bro, if there is an I say underrated, I don't know people that are talking about this show. I mean, it's been canceled for some time now, but anyway, but
just 2 seasons.
Was it only 2 seasons? Yeah. It was absolutely epic. So if you really want to get into some like real life criminal mind stuff, this is the absolute beginnings of it. Mindhunter. And the music is epic. It's probably the best soundtrack that you could ever have for any of these shows. It's period, so you're talking about the 70s, and the music just is. I mean, the score for it is just it's perfect.
Is it a Netflix original? I know it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it's. I don't recall, because
it is Netflix original.
To be honest with you, it came out, I wasn't watching it, and it wasn't until after it already finished that I had said, you know what, I've got some time, let me check this out. And yeah, man, I wish I had watched it much earlier. So yeah, definitely go ahead and binge that bad boy, because it is worth it. It is not a show for young viewers, but it's pretty epic.
Yeah, man. I'm surprised this one wasn't on your list, my number 5, but I guess you're more niched down to particular shows. So NCIS, the original one. Haven't seen any of the other variations of it.
Really?
Yeah, haven't seen any other ones. So, do you recommend one in particular?
LA.
Okay. Yeah. I thought you didn't like that because of the one guy, or
no, that was New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah, because of Lucas Black.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Gibbs being the character that he is, I think I don't know if everybody enjoys him, but I do like him as a character. They got a nice just a element between.
He's not really on the show now. Right?
I know he ain't now. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Well, I mean, one of my other shows, there's also people come and go. So so my wife, she's been binging it again. Like she's binged it like maybe 5 times, especially when we got COVID back November 2020. Yeah, we watched the crap out of that show.
Yeah.
And it's a very enjoyable show. I could sit there and watch it. And the other good thing about it is you don't necessarily have to, watch every single episode in order to just enjoy one episode.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
can't enjoy shows like that.
yeah. They're fairly well self-contained.
Yeah.
There's some that are fairly interconnected, and there's some themes that run through. But yeah, for the most part, you can kind of jump in wherever. The I think that's why it was always very successful when other TV channels that are looking for daytime TV to fill in gaps, they'll use NCISs for that very reason, and
Right.
I think that was part of the genius of the show. Yeah, I mean, I still watch it. Absolutely, it's still on my regular watch list, but yeah, it's just it's more like, yeah, it's there.
Gotcha. Okay. Number 4, we got the same one.
Yeah, and
Did you put it there on
I
purpose?
put it there
Okay.
so that way we could. Yeah, I probably would have had this a little bit higher, but
Okay. You mean like closer to 1?
just up one more.
Okay.
Yeah, it had been my number 3.
Well, it's interesting because I didn't realize you really enjoyed the show. Well, I mean,
Really?
you don't tell me about all your shows that you like. I mean,
No,
I didn't know anything about Mindhunter. You've mentioned Perry Mason before, but I was
dude,
really
you're like giving away my stuff.
oh, my bad. My bad. Okay,
Spoiler,
okay.
spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler alert there.
Anyway,
But
so number 4, Harry Bosch,
but
Bosch,
yeah,
and I would say Bosch and Bosch Legacy. So
yeah. So Bosch, he's a character from Michael Conley books. My grandmother got me into Michael Conley. Uh, reader kid, read a lot, and so we started giving me those. I mean, they're a little adult mature in
yeah,
some
yeah.
ways. But I mean, I just really enjoyed the character of Harry Bosch. The only Michael Conley books I read were all Harry Bosch novels,
Mm.
and so I didn't realize they had a show until I just happened to be scrolling through Amazon Prime just to see what they had, and I saw this, and I was like,
I'm pretty sure I told you about it.
if you did, I really don't
Yeah,
remember
I
because I
don't
would
know.
have watched it if I would.
You're so
If you would
dismissive
have
of everything I
mentioned
tell
that,
you.
Harry Bosch, like I would
Nah,
definitely
it's
would have
just
watched
in
it.
one ear, out the other.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Probably so. That was probably during one of the highlights of my life.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the show, like Titus Welliver, he does a
Dude,
great, like he's
phenomenal actor.
dude. That was a great casting choice. Great
Absolutely.
casting choice.
And then moving into producer, I mean, he's got so much talent and skill. Now, you can question his character outside of his acting and whatever, but he's phenomenal. He just really brings it to life.
Yeah, and I don't even know if I've really seen him in other stuff. Like I know he's done other stuff, but
Deadwood,
he was in Mandalorian apparently. I
Deadwood.
didn't realize that. I hadn't seen Deadwood. Sons of Anarchy, never really watched
Yeah,
that.
Sons.
Suits, yeah, I
He
mean
was
he's
good in Sons.
Transformer. I did. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah,
without
whatever.
dragging on, great
Yeah.
show. I'm excited to continue watching it because the regular Bosch series went from 2014 to 2021, and then Bosch Legacy started in 2022. So is that ongoing? Is it still going? Are you watching it?
Well, it's the legacy has finished for the season. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but
Hopefully they keep it going.
and they left it such that they can, and yeah, I certainly hope so. I think that it's been successful for Titus. I think it's been successful for um it's Amazon Prime, but it's also Freevee. It's also IMDb TV. So
Gotcha.
which IMDb TV is now Freevee, but whatever. So yeah, it's been super successful, so I don't see why they wouldn't continue it as long as they can.
And this is
So,
a connected story throughout.
yeah.
So this is not like NCIS. But all right, man. Move on to number 3.
All right. So my number 3, Perry Mason. Thank you for the spoiler, Jason.
Hey, look, man. I'm trying to give him a
Yeah.
sneak peek. Keep him intrigued.
But specifically the 2020 Perry Mason. So we're not talking the old TV show. It's my computer's not connecting. I don't know why, but anyway, HBO only, which is the shame of it all, but only because it. I mean, HBO is expensive. I don't know about you, but I only get HBO, but every so often, so that way I
Yeah.
can binge something and then dump it. It's not something that I keep on the regular. So, but yeah,
I got
Perry
it brought up. If
Mason.
you need information, just let me know.
Well, I had something I was gonna add. So,
Gotcha.
um, but yeah. Anyway, so Perry Mason, man, and it's dark. Okay, just letting you know,
HBO.
it's dark. So if you're even thinking that's anything like the old school Perry Mason, it ain't. It ain't. It's. Woo.
Yeah,
So
even seeing the trailer like sift through the scenes.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I'm also fascinated with time period as well. So, if you're into historical dramas and stuff, it definitely fits that.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. So my number three is Criminal Minds. Um, just one of my favorite shows is I can't really watch it with the kids around because it's a little too mature for them. My wife doesn't like the explicitness of the crimes and the attacks that are going on in the show. So she likes it, but she doesn't like that portion of it. So usually she'll just watch NCIS and I'll watch Criminal Minds. So it's usually kind of how it works. I like NCIS, but I like Criminal Minds better, which is why it's number three and NCIS is five. But yeah, I mean, just like most of any other show that has a long running um period of running time, all the years that it goes, the casting does change. So you
Yeah,
do
I was gonna say
lose.
that. Yeah, they've gone through some cast changes,
Yeah.
which sometimes is all right.
Yeah. But they keep Spencer Reed,
Yeah,
which honestly is I think a lot of people's favorite character. Was up a post that was if you were playing a round of Jeopardy, would you rather have Spencer Reed or Sheldon from Big Bang Theory?
Sheldon.
And I said Spencer. I was going to say Sheldon, but then someone pointed out that his ego would mess him up and he would end up failing because of his ego.
Probably.
Like, or the technicalities, but technically this, that, and the other. So, yeah, Spencer Reed is like a Sheldon of detective. Well, I don't know, just the intelligence of him is that. But I mean, overall, the show is great. They're all like the mix of their casting. Um, and just what they do with the characters, the storyline. Again, this is one of those you can take single episodes and watch them and enjoy. You don't have to follow the whole story, but there are periods like other shows where there is a storyline that they interject in there. So, but overall, if you're just looking for a good show, this one deals it's FBI deals more so with the the insane and criminally insane people for the most part, or
So this is actually what so Criminal Minds had already been out when Mindhunter was made, but Mindhunters is based on real life folks and activities, and that's what Criminal Minds is based off of. So that whole division of the FBI came about from the beginnings of what you would see in Mindhunter. So if you like Criminal Minds, you'll love Mindhunter because that's basically the origin story, if you will.
so I need to watch Mindhunter.
Yeah, definitely you should. Yeah.
All right, number two.
All right, number two. This is going to be a little bit of a no-brainer. It's a BBC series. If you hadn't already figured it out, it's Sherlock.
Doctor Who?
Who? No. Yeah. I mean, look. Yeah, it's Sherlock.
Dude, IMDb had this so low on their top 200 detective. I'm like it was like 187. I was like, what?
And I get it. I think it's a little nichey. So in fact,
And the style of this is a little different from
yeah. So I get it. And unless you're just like really into Sherlock Holmes, then Sherlock probably isn't going to be your cup of tea, your cuppa, as opposed to others. But look, man, any of these other shows that we've been talking about, they're really all still based
on
off of
Sherlock.
Holmes.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, in every single show, they always reference. I don't think there's any detective show that hasn't referenced Holmes.
In some way or another.
Watson.
Yeah.
I actually hear Watson more than I do Holmes.
You know, like when you've eliminated all possibilities. Yeah. I mean, come on. There's always some little something.
Yeah, man. So my number two, it's kind of a old school one, Law and Order SVU. I watched this with my grandparents all the time. Well, my granddad was more of a Law and Order straight, just regular original Law and Order. My grandmother was Special Victims Unit, and I liked the detectives and everything from SVU better. Stabler, just raw, don't want to hold anything back. Um, and then you had Benson, and you had Ice T, and it's just to me the casting was done so well. I really enjoyed everybody in that show. Where in all the other Law and Orders, there's always one character where I'm like, I really just could care less if they got rid of that person. Criminal Minds would have made it, but I really wasn't a fan of one of the lead detectives. So
See, Ice T, the greatest blessing in his life, this show.
yeah, I mean, it really showed a huge. It did a lot for, I think, for a lot of people actually, especially from the hip hop space going into acting and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was good for him to be able to represent at least his community well.
Well, look, I mean, you're talking about a guy whose one of his biggest hits was Cop Killer.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, right?
yeah. The funny thing is, my grandfather. This is probably his least favorite character.
Well, yeah, okay, but So the thing is that there was a lot of really kind of epicness with that casting. Plus, frankly, he wasn't probably bound for much more of a hip hop career than what he had.
Yeah.
So to be able to move into acting and to be able to have a long running TV show, that kind of steady income was just very epic for him as well, just from a personal standpoint, but again also socially. I think it was a really good move.
Side note: did you know that he's the front man for a American heavy metal group called Body Count?
I do recall that. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. So anyway,
Yeah,
man,
that's been a minute though.
it's 2009. So, or no. Sorry, 1990. No. He did some other stuff. Sorry, my bad. Man.
I was
So
gonna say I'm really certain it was much older.
he was a
than that.
rapper
Yeah.
and a metal band. I never knew he was in a metal band. So
Yeah, well, clearly it was very successful, which again proves my point that getting this TV show gig was good for him. So
man.
All right,
we got the same number one.
Yeah, the same number one. This would have been my number one anyway.
My number one as well.
Yeah.
Only reason I kept Hulu for so long was so I could watch the show.
Yeah,
only thing I watched on.
I actually I've got them all on DVD because they're only they may be on Blu-ray now, but they were only available on DVD when I bought them. But yeah, I still watch it on Hulu because it's just easier than getting up and having to put it in the disc. Yeah, Elementary. Man, I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've watched every single season. It's just,
you probably watch Elementary like I watched The Office. So just put it on while you're doing anything and everything. You know what's going on. You can visualize the scenes in your head just from listening to it.
Yep.
Probably know what they're going to say next.
Yeah.
Garage.
It's just there, man. And and to me, it's still some of the better written crime drama, if you will. And it's I don't know. I love the characters. I love the actors. I love it when later seasons when they get involved in doing their own directing of episodes. They get involved with some of the producing, so it only evolves into a far better show. There is some seasons that are better than others, like anything else, and definitely some episodes that are not spectacular. But all in all,
yeah, man, I think it ended before I ever watched it.
Yeah,
because I remember you talking about the half season being the last season, and I remember when you specifically had like an evening where you and your daughter or having like a special father-daughter time watching that last episode.
Oh, okay.
I remember you talking about it, and because we were still living over there in the other home. We were in the office, the old office recording. So,
Okay.
but I decided to watch it. My wife and I we were just looking for something different to watch, something new, and I decided to check it out. And we watched the first episode. We really liked it. I mean, it had
which is a little weird because the first episode, the pilot, to me is a little rough.
Yeah, they're still working their way through it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that would have been like a totally attention grabber.
Yeah, but I mean, we watched it and a couple episodes. I mean, we usually do try to give, unless the very first episode is completely just boring or horrible, then we'll continue to watch it just to see if it picks up. And Sherlock did that really quick for us, so we enjoyed it. And I just I became a Sherlock fan because of Elementary. So
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a CBS production, so there's definitely liberal agenda within stuff. So
I'll tell you this though, I really, really, really wish that IMDb would not have gave away that Natalie Dormer was Moriarty,
uh,
because they and IMDb does the same thing. Like they'll give a spoiler in the show with the casting calling. Like anyway, so if you're ever thinking about checking out a TV show, be careful with looking up the cast and stuff during that process, because they might give you a spoiler you didn't want to have.
yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, number one, Elementary.
Yeah. So honorable mentions, I could go on, but these are probably the ones that were the most difficult. Were in my round 5, and then got bumped out, in and out, kind of thing. So a show that I'm actually currently binging is Justified. So Timothy Oliphant, I think is how you say his last name. Anyway, you'll remember him from Mandalorian. He was the sheriff in the, I think it's the Gunslinger is the name of the episode or
Oh yeah,
chapter.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So anyway, he's, I mean, he's a great actor. It's a good show, and I enjoy it. And there's several other notable actors kind of coming in and out of there.
It was The Office as well.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Justified. This one was really hard because I love this ABC Murders. Oh my goodness. Um, I sure wish that I could get it on disc without it being whatever the Australian region players are. But anyway, John Malkovich, and this is a Perot story that's broken up into a series, and I fell in love with it. Again, it's dark, but just absolutely love it. This is kind of like the latter part of Perot. So if you follow Perot's story, so like Death on the Nile, those movies. Anyway, moving along. Burn Notice.
I would have had that. I didn't really see that as that's.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I saw that on a list and I was like, I don't know if that's a detective. Like to me, it's more of a.
Yeah, there's still
I don't know.
crime and there's
I don't
still
know.
some resolution.
A great show
Yeah,
though. Great
yeah,
show.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. And I've binged it a few times, but it's the sort of thing where it's not high up there, but I definitely enjoy it.
Yeah.
Sci-fi, Almost Human. Oh man, I don't know why this show only made it one season. I bought it. I love it. um, so if you're familiar with the reboot of Star Trek movies, so our Leonard McCoy from there is the main character. He's our main police officer, and he's paired up with a not a cyborg, sorry, an android as a partner. So this again takes place in the future, sci-fi. And but anyway, so buddy cop kind of thing, but still really a lot of fun and sometimes a little darkish, but not bad. Fargo, which is more of a criminal thing, so I'm just gonna move on from it. Old School, Miami Vice. I still watch it.
The old one or the new one?
Well, it's only a movie that's new.
Oh, okay, okay. The
Yeah,
movies.
yeah. Just it's still fun to me. I love reliving the time when I was like 9 watching the show. So, but anyway, Miami Vice, and then my last is NCIS LA. So there you go. I got an NCIS in there for you.
Yeah, I didn't really do a whole lot of. I mean, I didn't do any specifically for this, but Criminal
Oh,
Intent.
sorry.
You added one, or I
Yeah,
added one, but Longmire.
And it didn't show up here
Yeah.
for me because I'm not connected. Longmire. Oh my goodness. This should have made my top 5, but again, it's like right up there with ABC Murders. I love Longmire. Gosh, I sure wish that they were still continuing the show. I always look forward to it. Katie, gosh, Bo-Katan from
Yeah. Yeah.
Mandalorian. Anyway, and she was also in Battlestar Galactica. So anyway, just super great cast, a lot of fun, and definitely kept you on your toes. So check out Longmire too.
You like westerns or Western era?
Some,
Okay.
yeah. Well, I mean, it would just be justified in Longmire.
Perry Mason's not Western.
No, it's not.
No. Okay, maybe those are just two I looked
40s.
up that were okay. Anyway, yeah, so that's our top 5
Yeah.
detective shows. Let
And
us
then
know
some.
if you are and then some. If you're a fan of detectives, let us know what your list is. We'd love to know if there's anything we need to check out that we didn't mention. Let us know as well.
Yeah,
Because
please.
I'm sure especially Sean loves detective shows, so
Yeah.
he'd probably check it out way before I would. But hey, I'd still check it out though. If someone recommended it, I promise you I'd check it out. Anyway, we will see you next time. Stay tuned. Always remember, Jesus loves you way more than we ever could.
Peace.